Hey everybody, we got a couple of minutes before we start. I'm Alan Nichols with MAXHUB, and thanks for joining us today. We're going to be doing a little bit of not quite a deep dive, but into kind of what is MDEP and how is MDEP good for you? Microsoft PM for MDEP is here with us as well, Yoav Barzilay. Hopefully I said his name right. Are you there, Yoav?
I'm here, Alan. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to everyone. And thanks for inviting me to talk with you here today.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pleasure having you here. All right, I'm going to start bringing up the slide deck here so everybody can stare at it for a couple minutes while we wait for everyone else to pour in. I think we'll wait till 1 or 2 after the hour to start our conversation, just to give everybody a really quick chance to come in. And we'll have a drawing at the end of it for the V50 bar. Andy Tio, he's going to be running our Q&A, so everybody feel free to ask questions during it. And after Yoav and I are done talking, we'll pop into the Q&A, we'll answer questions, and we'll get everybody through this. Everybody loves a webinar. All right, looks like we're starting to get people pouring in. We're at 55.
We set ourselves to set a new record today, right?
Right. I think we had over 200 people signed up today, so we're gonna see how many of them join us. The more, the merrier.
Awesome. No pressure.
I guess while we're waiting for everybody to join in, yeah, if you want to introduce yourself and what you do at Microsoft.
Yeah, so again, hello everyone. My name is Yoav. I'm a PM in the Microsoft Device Ecosystem Platform team. My job is to bring out the communications, so basically communicate everything we're doing to the public, as well as onboard and welcome new partners to the ecosystem. Again, Alan and MAXHUB team, thank you for inviting me here. Super excited to talk about the work we're doing together.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure to have you in here. And I'm Alan Nichols. I'm the business development manager / tech nerd over here for our Teams Room systems. And it looks like we're at about 1 after the hour. We got almost 100 people in here. So let's kick it off.
Let's go.
All right. So one of the big things that people have seen in the past is Microsoft adopting Android as a platform. So I guess, yeah, you want to kind of tell us what Microsoft Android is?
Yeah, and I also want to talk a little bit about our journey with Android, because when I say that I work for the team at Microsoft that develops an Android operating system, usually people look at me with a weird face. What does Microsoft have to do with Android? And the reality is that we've been investing in Android for over 10 years now. Microsoft is considered one of the biggest Android developers in the market. We have over 100 apps in the Google Play Store, across Microsoft, LinkedIn, GitHub, and the other Microsoft affiliates. We have about 2,500 engineers working on or for Android in 18 sites across the globe. So we have a big Android house at Microsoft. And the reason we're doing MDEP, or part of the reason we're doing MDEP, is the Surface Duo that we launched a couple of years ago. If you remember, if anyone here in the room remembers, and this is a great cue to bring on your reactions with amazing applause for the Surface Duo. We launched the first 360 phone based on Android in the market a couple of years ago. It was the first Android dual screen, and the first time we've combined the best of Android and Microsoft together. And this is what laid the groundwork for today's MDEP. Basically, the same team that developed the platform for the Surface Duo is the same team that is developing MDEP today.
That's awesome. I love it. So I guess as we start talking about MDEP, what is MDEP compared to AOSP or the Android open source platform?
So MDEP is AOSP. It is not a fork. It's not a new Android flavor altogether. And in many ways, it is very similar to the AOSP that you're familiar with on the devices you have today. It's not separate from AOSP. It's built on Android 13, and we've just announced and launched Android 15 a couple of weeks ago. And it maintains full compatibility with the Android apps and services that you may be running today. So if you have Android running on your device, MDEP is just another version of that Android. It does have the Microsoft enhancements. So it includes proprietary components, what I like to call the MDEP secret sauce, and it adds advanced security, AI features, and enterprise features that we've heard that some partners and customers are missing.
That's awesome. So when we're deploying like a MDEP device or getting ready as a manufacturer, when we're getting ready to build one, is this more of a we don't have to do the SDK and the OS build and Microsoft provides it for us? Or is it more of an enhanced SDK for the developers?
We give you the operating system. We work together with the silicon vendors and the partners. This is not a shoot and forget kind of operation. We work very close with all 9 of our distribution partners, and we have more partners hopefully coming along later this year. And we have many development partners that are working together with us to deliver this. We work together, and the reason we're doing this is that we want to avoid one of the biggest system problems or issues or challenges the market has today, and that's fragmentation. If you look across, especially across the collaboration ecosystem, there's many flavors, different flavors of AOSP. Every manufacturer seems to have their own version of AOSP, not only in terms of which Android version, but also how it operates and how it works. And some of the feedback we've received when we launched Surface Duo and then in conversations with customers and partners is that they love the flexibility and the customizability of Android, but there's concerns around fragmentation. Again, you might end up managing 6 or 7 different Android flavors or Android operating systems in your organizations, depending on the size of your organization. It's very complex to update. Some vendors may have their own update mechanism, some may not update at all. And there's also inconsistency in the security standards across multiple builds. And what they've asked us to do is to come up with a reliable and easy to manage Android platform. One that stays up to date and with minimal effort, and that they can focus. And I think this is a long answer to your question, but I think the partners like yourself want to focus on your differentiating experience and what you do best, the video, the audio, and they want to spend less time developing the underlying OS. And that's what we're giving you. We're giving you the ability to still develop on Android, develop on the features that you're interested in, but without having to do the lifting and shifting of moving from Android version to another and maintaining the Android platform.
I like it. This sounds very similar to back in the Project Rigel days when with the Skype room systems, when they started moving over to Teams room systems with that kind of the unification of the management, unification of the user experience, things like that.
Correct. And that was mostly, if not completely, run on Windows back in the days. But as we're seeing a very obvious shift towards Android, this is where those challenges might rise. Windows is a closed operating system. Android is a much more flexible and open one. So we keep the ability for every OEM and every manufacturer and developer to do their own thing and to invest where it matters most to them. But we are delivering a much more reliable and consistent playing field for everyone.
That actually kind of segues perfect to the next slide about the user experience, kind of having a universal user experience across platforms, like across manufacturers and everything.
So for the end user, I think the good news is that the end user should be completely unaware that you have moved to MDEP. Hopefully, they will be aware that there is much more reliability and the system performs better. But for them, the experience is mostly around what is the end platform or what is the app that is running on top of that. For the IT administrators, on the other hand, this is a huge change. We're bringing on features that might be missing. We're bringing on Windows autopilot-like experiences for easier deployment. We're bringing Defender for Endpoint in a future release. We're bringing security features that were not there for the majority of the Android ecosystem. So to your question, I hope I'm answering what you've asked.
Oh yeah, you're just spot on. That's really the experience for that'll make IT really happy. So as a former IT manager and an IT guy, I appreciate not having 9 different platforms to manage different devices that do the same thing and having to train users how to, I guess, operate each and every room.
Yeah. So again, it's a lot around the simplicity and the efficiency of the platform. Retain the experience, have your end users happy, and also make sure that you're not wasting IT cycles on what you don't want to.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess one thing I'd like to kind of pop in there as a key differentiator for MDEP over just standard Android deployments is security. Because IT is always going to wonder about security. We have conversations all the time about different end users. They don't want to deploy Android because they can't manage it in the Teams admin portal. They can't manage them in the Pro admin portal. They don't want separate dashboards. They don't want to have different deployments for every single manufacturer in there. So they kind of avoid it like it's a hot potato, and they just end up deploying Windows devices instead.
Mm-hmm. So I like the slide that you have here. So let me address all of those small cute icons here on the screens, and maybe that'll help answer some of the questions. So yes, MDEP comes built in with Microsoft services. Obviously, we have Teams and Intune already, but there's more coming out of the box, and we will offer and provide full native support for all Microsoft services in the future. When you look at turnkey MDEP components, we have the full suite of system services and apps and APIs for collaboration devices. And we also have the tools for networking and device pairing and provisioning and updates and security monitoring. So everything, again, that the IT admin and the IT department wants to have. On the partner enablement piece, or what you call here the OEM extensibility, we provide support for the OEMs and the ODMs. These are the development partners that we have to bring their own existing AOSP components to MDEP. That's a very important point that I want to touch on. We're not replacing any of the work that you're familiar with. So if you're already working with a partner and you like what they have, we're not replacing that. We're not taking it away. Again, the idea here is to provide more flexibility to the manufacturers. So we're just giving them the platform to develop on. We're not taking away any of the features that you like. Hopefully, we're adding more features that you like. And again, the platform is extensible. We're making it easier for the OEMs and the manufacturers to innovate and differentiate. On-device AI model I see here. So obviously, yes, we're introducing a local AI framework that is powered by the Microsoft models you're already familiar with, Microsoft Responsible AI, that's designed for privacy and safety, and it make it easier to support the Microsoft custom AI models that the partners have. Obviously, enterprise-grade security. We do everything security first at Microsoft. We have our Secure Future initiative that demands that everything we do is with security first. So we're combining Android's core protection with verified boot and encryption, but we're also bringing in Microsoft PKI hardware attestation. That means that every device, every MDEP device is signed with the Microsoft certificates. We bring secure pairing that's in addition to the existing pairing that some applications have. And we have an app integrity service for secure cloud communications. That means that every time an app communicates with the cloud, we're making sure that it's the right app and it's also the right service in the cloud. Let's see, what else do you have there? Frictionless deployment. we are trying to streamline the operation. So we're investing in automation and workflows. So you can reduce the manual work and simplify the updates, and lower your IT costs. Obviously, inclusive by design. This is one of the things I'm most proud of in the work that we're doing. We're making sure that our devices are accessible and available for everyone. Text-to-speech service from Microsoft is built in, and we're supporting customization and offline use of various device types, making sure that really everyone can use our devices. And then last but not least, and maybe one of the most important things to touch here is ongoing updates. We are providing regular long-term updates for operating systems. We deliver updates to the OEMs every month. These updates include security patches. They include what we call priority zero patches. And we are providing feature updates. We're trying to make that a couple of times a year, between 3 and 4 times a year. And all of these are driven by the partner and the market needs. We don't just wake up in the morning and decide, okay, we want to ship this, let's just go ahead and do it. Not a lot. Everything we do is driven by the partner that but the feedback we're hearing from the partners and from the customers. That was a long slide to talk to.
Yeah, you nailed it. That was fantastic. I really like that one. So I guess one thing I want to bring up is like the performance, because a lot of us here have been through that Skype to Teams transition, and a lot of people had those Skype IP phones that ran on Android a couple of years ago. And when they upgraded them to Teams, I still remember I used to get a lot of customers that called me saying, hey, when I press the dialer button, it takes like 20 seconds for the dialer to come up. And I guess that kind of goes along with the MDEP using approved SoCs for upgrades.
Yes, so obviously Android runs on a gazillion chipsets that are out there in the market. We have made a choice to support a finite number of these chipsets. It is expanding, again, based on feedback. We know that there's more chipsets out there that we need to support and we want to support. But we're making sure that every chipset that we support, for every form factor that we support, is gone through rigorous testing and validation to make sure that the performance that we provide to our OEM partners and to the end user, and obviously the IT admins, is exactly what they expect. We are working very close with Teams and other video as a service providers to make sure that we support what they need. But again, we make sure that everything before we deliver it is tested and validated for performance, security, and everything else you need.
I love it. That was always one of the biggest complaints was, hey, this it runs, but it doesn't. And it's great to see that we have approved platforms that are going to ensure that we have very performant user experience on these. Because nobody wants to see skipped frames. Nobody wants to wait 15 seconds to join a meeting as they stare at the screen, wondering what it's doing.
Yep.
So yeah, I appreciate that more than you know. It's fantastic. So I guess why MAXHUB MTRA solution? So it's Microsoft Teams rooms on Android. So a lot of the security things Yoav was talking about, like the hardware attestation. So that's going to be knowing that when you put in your credentials into one of these systems, knowing that the hardware is approved to connect to the Microsoft stack, it's going to say, hey, I can securely transmit the hash of these credentials without somebody trying to grab them in the middle. And that's a really big part of the hardware attestation and the secure device pairing. I love the anti-rollback, because then we can't just grab somebody's credentials that were on there before and try to reverse engineer or image it and try to do a rollback attack. With the data encryption, especially on that, and verified boot, so somebody can't just try to pop their own firmware onto a device that's going to grab credentials or try to transmit a meeting somewhere else. Am I kind of following how you guys are running that properly as a security?
And again, so we're doing this together. So our architects and the MAXHUB architects are working together to make sure that the device meet the MDEP security requirements. And maybe that's one more thing to talk about following your previous question. We will not be able to support every chipset in the market or every Android version in the market. And I see some questions in the chat here as well. because some of them may not meet our security requirements. So working with you together on this, we know we're delivering on the security promise that our customers are asking for.
I like it. And yeah, that kind of brings up the tier 1 security patches as well, since Microsoft will be managing the security patches, not the manufacturer. That's correct?
Microsoft will be delivering the security patches to the manufacturer, and the manufacturer has the responsibility to deliver those to the end devices.
Okay.
But yes, we are making sure that we're doing everything right, obviously in coordination, in full coordination with our partners. The partners will then have to apply this to their devices, test everything again, make sure that everything is working, and deliver it to the end user.
We really appreciate that. It takes a lot of onus off of us so we can actually get things deployed and make sure that we can do OTA updates once we receive those patches. It's going to streamline things and get those updates out there a lot faster. And that kind of brings up the reliability that we're going to be able to bring into the system, since we do have a fully tested OS with fully tested hardware. It's going to take a lot of the bugs out, a lot of the weird things that you may have seen in the past with some Android devices. And the big thing that I always love to talk about is that predictable life cycle. So as you start talking to your IT team about these, they're all going to want to know, if I buy this, is it going to be e-waste in 2 years? And why isn't it? And show me the proof. And we can show right here on that little table in the lower right all the different support dates for different Android versions that Microsoft is going to support. And that's just the current Android. And if we can upgrade in the future, we will. If we aren't, we will have a set life cycle, and IT will be able to plan the deprecation of devices years down the road once they fall out of support.
Yeah.
And that kind of goes along with the easy maintenance as well. Since the MTRA devices, the standard MTRA, you cannot manage them in the Pro Admin portal. But when is the roadmap going to release Pro Admin portal for MDEP? You know?
That's a great question for the Teams team. But we're working very close with all of them. We're working with the Teams team. We're working with the manufacturers. I cannot answer on behalf of the team, but we are working together to deliver all the great goodness that you're looking for.
Awesome. I like it. And that kind of brings us down to those potential risks for like a non-MDEP system, or we're looking at those life cycle pieces. So we get those questions every once in a while. I just bought all these devices, and now I'm being told that they're going to be junk at the end of the year. What do I do with them? And that's kind of why when you look into purchasing a device, you want to make sure that that device is going to be in it to win it, not just there for now and then be deprecated later because it's not going to accept security patches or a OS upgrade, like some of the old Android 10, Android 11 devices are going to run across very, very soon. And that goes along with Linux and Windows as well, as everybody is seeing next month, September, yeah, it's October, Windows 10 is going out of service, and everybody's going to have a lot of hardware to replace, which kind of brings us to the shameless plug of what does MAXHUB have to replace a lot of those deprecated pieces of hardware that you have to replace? We are currently shipping our V50 bar, and that's our first MDEP device. It's going to have a 100 megapixel camera system in it. It has its own AI built into it for your audio and your video. 125-degree field of view with a 26-foot pickup range on a 12 microphones. So these are great for small to medium rooms. And as you're looking to keep your costs down as you're deploying them, it's an all-in-one bar. It's got a pair of 15-watt speakers in it for really, really loud meetings in a small to medium room. So if you're looking to replace any of your older Windows systems or any of your old deprecated Android systems, the V50 is a spectacular platform to replace almost all of them. Now, if you have a larger room, we are getting ready to release our V70, which is going to be very similar to the W70, but the V70 is going to be our MDEP version of it. And the V70 is going to have 4 extra microphones. So we're going to have a 33-foot pickup range on that, a pair of 20-watt speakers on that, and we have 4 cameras, 4 50-megapixel cameras. 2 are telephoto, 2 are standard 125-degree field of view. And the AI that we have built into these is going to be able to do different AI camera views. We're going to be able to stitch. We're going to be able to bring people from the back of the room to a focused area on the display. And with those MEMS microphones that we put in both of these, we can steer them. So we can steer them away from a door. We can do all kinds of different acoustic handling of over 200 different kinds of noises that can happen in a room, from bags of chips, rustling papers, people typing on keyboards. And that's going to be automatic in here. It'll automatically tune your room, and it'll automatically view your room. So if we do have glass walls that you don't want anybody to be tracked as they're walking down the hallway, we'll be able to do video fencing on that as well, along with the audio fencing. Now, if everybody here has, at this point, has probably heard of MAXHUB. If you haven't, we do have a program called the Test Drive Program. We give you 30 days to try the device, and if you don't like it, it's a no questions asked return. So you just pop it back in the mail, say, hey, this thing, no. But if you end up enjoying the device, you can keep it. And if you are replacing some of your devices that are aging out, we have a new trade-in program to get a discount on it. So talk to your reseller, talk to your integrator about these programs. We can get you some quotes. You can get a hold of me. You can get a hold of any of our salespeople here. If you don't have an integrator, we'll find somebody for you, and we can give you demos. We do have people that travel around or ship demo devices for some pieces, but we always like to rely on our test drive program for those, since you're not going to have to wait. You could just order it, test it, and keep it, or send it back. Now for the fun time, Q&A. Do we have anything? I haven't been looking at Q&A in chat. Do we have anything sitting in here, Andy?
Yep, I've been answering as we go along, so yeah, I think we're good here.
Okay.
The question just popped in, is trading program available in Canada? Let's see here. So right now, I believe the program is only for the States, but do call, reach out to Alan. There's his email right there, and we'll be able to kind of answer your questions. Whether there's a program for Canada, there's a program for Mexico, Latam as well. So
looks like we have a TAA question too. Right now, we are working on getting TAA compliance because we are shifting manufacturing, because MAXHUB we are our own manufacturer. So we do have a lot of control over the manufacturing process. So we are working on TAA. We do not have it now, but keep checking in. We're working on a plan to have that. It'll be a little while, since there's a lot of moving things around and approvals that have to go in, but we are working on it. Any other ones that are unanswered in here, Andy? It looks like you've been on the ball.
Yep.
Awesome. Yes. Yep. We do have these bars available in Mexico as well. Well, Rajiv, I can answer that real easy. Well, we aren't everyone else. We strive to be better, and we strive to bring the highest quality and best pricing we can on the market with our devices. We are one of 2 manufacturers on the market right now that have MDEP devices. And what MAXHUB likes to do is we like to give you options. We have all-in-one displays. We have our bars. We have Windows Teams Room kits. We have Windows bars. We even have our V50 and V70 now that are going to be MDEP bars. So we have a broad category of devices for anything that you really need. And the best part is some of our devices we can integrate into third parties. We always know that we aren't the only ones on the market, but we do play well with others. And that's one of the key differentiators that I always love to talk to people about is we don't have competition, we have partners. And that's one of the big things that differentiates us in the market from anyone else. And the other one is, like we were saying earlier, we are our own manufacturer. So we do control our own supply chains. We control our own stock. We can control our devices. If we have problems and we see a hardware issue, we can immediately switch manufacturing without having to go to a third party and spend months trying to renegotiate things. So it gives us a really, really fast turnaround to solve problems, and a really fast turnaround to fulfill large orders for large corporate customers as well. The MDEP is very different from CollabOS. CollabOS is a Linux-based operating system. It has nothing to do with Android at all. They've done everything they can to make it a consistent user experience, but CollabOS is not MDEP and it is not Android. And thanks, Ted. We really appreciate it. And if anybody else has questions, pop them in the chat. If you have one later on, my email address is sitting there. It says alan.nichols@maxhub.com. Fire me an email, and if I can't answer it, we have a great team here of anybody who can answer questions for you or do presentations, get you with resellers and integrators, help you engineer your rooms, and make sure that you have a great experience with not just MAXHUB, but with our devices and with our partners.
Thank you, Alan, for this. Thanks for inviting me to talk here with you today, and thank you everyone for joining.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. And it looks like we had a question about a management portal. Yep, Andy already popped that in there. It's pivot.maxhub.com. That is a zero-cost management for anything MAXHUB, including our commercial displays, our MTR on Windows, MTRs on MDEP, our all-in-one IFPs, whether they're running MAXHUB OS or they're running Teams. So we can give you a full management of anything you want with the remote control of your devices, firmware updates, anything for zero cost to you. Yeah, do we need an additional license? Does it have remote support available? Yeah, Andy already got you. Yeah, it's a free basic license with remote control. Awesome. Yep. If there's nothing else, we'll give everybody their time back today. Thank you so much for joining the webinar. It was great talking to everybody. And like we said, get a hold of us. We can help you get in touch with the integrator. We can help you get in touch with whoever you need, our sales team, to help you engineer solutions and work on your trade-in programs, your test drive programs, whatever you need, we are here for you. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of your day, everybody. And thank you, Yoav, for joining us. And thank you, Andy. Oh, sorry, Yoav.
No, my pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks. See you, everybody.
See ya.